So one of the things that's really changed in my life quite a lot in the last couple of years is that I've had some really significant changes in the way that my career and my relationships that are really close to me have worked. And what I've noticed with this is that it's really affected the way that I see climbing and what it represents in terms of the value of it, the experience that I get from it, and also the energy that I get from it, but also give back to climbing.
See that? If I had that, I would be pretty confident. This would be good if you could actually get this on a route, but I just don't think I'm going to be getting this. This is all too straightforward. I think I'm going to get more like this. Just slide. Oh, actually, that's quite satisfying. I don't know.
I have so much more essentially need and value from the experience of climbing and the connection with movement and the rock and the people that I'm with, and it's very much moved away from a climber who was really focused on solely training and the grade and climbing the very hardest thing at my physical limit. And I still enjoy that to some extent, but I've needed that additional stuff that's meant that when I go climbing,
God, I always forget how greasy it is with no fucking chalk. Oh, it's a bit of a reminder how tricky this is. It always feels really bold as well. Like, it's so weird because you suddenly go from like a crack climbing style that feels like you can protect it whenever you want, like perfectly, to then everything's just slightly dubious and you're not quite sure.
To climb the very hardest stuff, I need a really full tank of energy, and I've had quite an empty tank of energy. So the people have been a really important aspect of it, and climbing's an amazing thing in terms of the partnerships, and you tie on either end of the rope and there's this really nice synergy that occurs with this. But also when you go to these areas and you take time to actually appreciate the surroundings where you are, places like this where you're on top of an incredible tower and you've got some of the most beautiful scenery that you've ever seen, really, and also the tiny little things that you notice within the rock and the kind of little details I take so much more pleasure out of now, because in a way I've slowed everything down and I see more from the actual experience of climbing rather than necessarily the outcome, which might be a grade or pushing my body right to the limit in the final experience. And I've got so much from that, and it's really changed my climbing over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's good. It was a little bit harder than I was expecting, that kind of wide bit. And then I got nervous because 2 holds broke on me and I nearly fell off. Like the first one, a foothold broke and I was so close to falling off. Like my hand started to kind of like open out the crimp and I just had enough. And then I went up and grabbed like the good hold and then that broke on me as well.
One of the things that was really interesting for me as a climber who has, I would say, typically really high energy, and I feel super motivated nearly all the time, I have for all of my adult life, was to have this experience where if I had too much essentially mental load in terms of career and relationship stuff, is I couldn't muster up my maximum level, and this affected the very hardest climbing. And it just didn't matter how much I would go to a training session or try a hard route that I was motivated by the beauty of the line, I couldn't bring a 10 out of 10 effort or a 9 out of 10 or even an 8 out of 10 in all honesty. It was like all the time it was 5 out of 10.
Getting muscles working that haven't worked for a long time. Oh, the old chicken wing.
It was hard to do that and hard to accept that because I've had at least 10 or 20 years of climbing at my limit and constantly on this kind of grade ramp that always went up. And then suddenly it was, this doesn't work within this mechanism. So I've had to really change that to give myself a chance to move that forward again.
Oh, my shoulders. Jesus. Oh.
No hold, right?
Second?
No hold?
No. No, just chimneying.
My body, I'm going to move.
Sometimes you cannot like breathe out that much, you know, they might reverse.
Yeah.
And like, ah. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go over there. That's you.
Oh, that.
Or I
Yeah,
can do it
I'll
now. I can put this in now and then I can steal it.
Is this the way that Adam did it? Or Adam would do it? Yay! We're alive! Ah, the book. The book.
Where's the book?
There.
Oh. Then
I didn't even know what the route's called. I rely on you for that. Do you know?
yeah.
You do? Okay. And can you spell?
I can spell.
Okay. That's nice. Oh, the pencil. Date?
Date first.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little thing
And
like
then you put your name here.
that. Okay, yeah.
Like they did here. Then they climbed in the morning, so put your, write my name. And then use the top to the line underneath, and it's done. Yep.
Okay.
Done. And you were climbing, so put a comma, and then I write my name. Ty máš krásně. Alkohol! Jo! A ještě a další a další a další. Tady míchá nějaký. A si to nevyšplouchlo, to je nuda.
After a day of not eating and doing a lot of climbing, I've come here to try traditional Czech food. Pork, cabbage, dumpling. I feel like it's going to be good. So that was actually a genuinely fun off-with. Nice one? Always enjoyable for the morning? It's either this or a bowl of cereal. Right? Huh? It's either this or a bowl of cereal.
Is it right? I'm wet and I stink, but it was awesome.
With the socks? Yeah. So for off-widthing, and you have just normal climbing shoes that are low top, if you wear a pair of socks, then one, you get ankle protection with the sock, but you also have a nice visual guide to how much you're bleeding, because the circle will slowly increase with time. So you can see on this side, I've got like a little patch here, so probably 2 more pitches of off-width is okay, but then once your whole sock is red here, it's normally time to stop for the day. And then this, for your trousers, is really good, because if you do a knee lock, it just doesn't move and get stuck, because once this all comes up here and then it gets stuck in a knee lock, you're totally, well, you're not going to have a good time.
And how about the look of it?
The look?
Yeah.
Look is secondary. It's mainly function, and then it's styling. But if you add a nice colour, it's, you know.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So,
Mine are really boring.
Yeah, that looks more like something religious. Like either religious or
No colours.
or maybe from the dungeon.
or BDSM maybe.
Yeah.
I really don't care how much I do bleed. So
Punish me.
Oh, it's noisy. There's some people down here. That's weird.
it's boring.
Right, everything?
Yeah,
Pray for my soul.
I will. And she will with her shoes.
Look, we're in church. What is this? caving.
Would you prefer a bowl of cereals?
A bowl of cereal? I'd definitely take a bowl of cereal right now.
When you realise that you are in a difficult spot mentally where you can't perform at like a standard in that thing, then you need to work more or be more flexible in terms of the mental game that you bring to climbing. And I suppose there's two main things that I found that have worked for me. And the first one is that over time I've had to learn to try and be more kind to myself. And this goes with saying that I've definitely used that be your worst own critic to my advantage, as in push harder, Tom. It's not acceptable, you need to do better. And that has been really useful. But in times like this where things have really set you back and you find things harder, then that doesn't actually work very well and it just pushes you deeper into a pit. And being kind to yourself is effectively the most kind thing you can do to move forward. And then the other part of it is, as I've tried different approaches like adopting a little bit more artwork, spending more time thinking about going for the experience of the climbing day rather than just the grade, and finding just the right climbing partner for a climb that I want to go and do, is being intentional about thinking about the feedback that you get from each thing that you try. So as I try, for example, doing some artwork, I will think about it afterwards and go, how did that actually feel to me? Did that add to me for my personal energy? And if that's a tiny little 1%, I'll go, okay, good. I'll do that again and repeat it. And it's that intentional awareness of these different approaches that you can try, and are they feeding into you, so they're putting you in a better position and making you feel more happy, or are they actually just slowly negatively taking away from you? And that's the bit that I think has been instrumental in terms of finding a better system for me at the moment, which has put me in a much better place. Yeah, so it's been really good to come out here and have some days on the towers which have been more like 90% fun and then 10% fear. Like, it's a good balance. So coming to the top here, I was just saying a second ago that I actually enjoy the top way more, because the experience of the route and how varied it was and how good the climbing is means that you completely enjoy the top. Whereas previously on other trips, sometimes I came to the top and I was more feeling like I need to get to sleep or something. But it's brilliant. It's so good out here, and I kind of wish I wasn't going home so early, because I'd like to just do more of the classics and kind of get to know more of the areas, and it'd be really cool to do that. Sorry, let me get these off.
bit wonky. Oh shit. Okay,
Good
we're
work.
done. We're done.
Good work.
Book signed.
That's why we climbed the road.